Welcome back to this week's live broadcast and this other episode of Making It Together Home Edition. And I'm really excited to be back with you guys today. I have a really great topic planned for you today that's all on different items that you can profit from by selling some of the projects that you're making with your craft cutter. So let's do a quick review of what a craft cutter is while some of you guys are joining in. So a craft cutter is the Cricut that you're actually seeing behind my heat press here. This is considered a desktop printer or a craft vinyl cutter. They're typically 12 inches wide and you cut sheets of vinyl, whether that's sign vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, fabric, a variety of different things. It can be craft paper and things like that. So that is the gist of what a craft cutter is, but it is compatible with a variety of different things that allow you to get into products that you can make ultimately that goes beyond just doing something for a hobby, something that you can actually profit with. And that's what we're going to hone in on today. So I see that I have some of you joining in. So welcome and thanks as always for joining us and supporting the content that we're putting out there for you guys during this time. This is my second time going live with the Impressions Facebook group. So if you're visiting there, thank you so much for taking the time to watch there and just kind of see what different content we're posting on there since we are doing a social takeover. So a little bit more about that and what all that social takeover entails. We are posting a lot of content to the Impressions group Facebook page from Stahls. And we're also doing some webinars. So last week we did a live broadcast last Monday, if you happen to join me there, where we talked about when it was a good time to upgrade from an iron to a heat press. And then we did a webinar last Tuesday with Zach Ellsworth, where he was talking about profit opportunity with reflective and that type of market. And tomorrow we have another webinar happening with Impressions, which I'll actually be hosting. And it's all on how to make events more eventful with e-commerce. All right, so we're going to be talking a lot about Spirit Sale and how you can set up web stores specific to events, and also how what those best practices look like, different things that you could be utilizing at those events to build more profit opportunity, and of course, just have an overall successful event selling apparel. So we'll be there tomorrow at 11 for the webinar for Impressions. So if you guys want more information on that, we'll be posting it on all of our social media platforms, and you will also see it on the Impressions Facebook page. All right, so lots of people commenting in, everyone saying hello. Hi everybody. We have someone from Sweden, which is pretty awesome. Denise from Georgia. Denise, I want to thank you. I always see you on our lives and always commenting in. I always appreciate that. So yeah, good morning, Mike from Canada. So I appreciate you guys coming in. We did ask you earlier where all of you guys are from. So today I want to kind of get the conversation rolling and know a little bit more about your business. So what is your go-to print method in your business? Are you using a heat press for most of your stuff? Are you screen printing? Are you doing DTG? What is your mostly preferred print method at your business? All right, so go ahead and comment that in. Just want to know a little bit more about you and kind of what my audience looks like today. All right, with that being said, we can go ahead and dive into the bulk of our discussion today, which is all on the different items that you can be pressing with just a heat press. Maybe you have a home iron, you haven't made the upgrade to the heat press yet, but different things you could ultimately be cutting out on your desktop vinyl cutter and be able to profit from. So of course, the first one is going to be a t-shirt, because that is the most common thing and most popular thing that people are really buying when it comes to different heat transfer vinyl products. So today I'm going to be doing for the t-shirt application a 2-color glitter flake, and then we're going to actually break it down how much you can actually make off of selling this particular item. All right, so all of the products that I'm going to be heat applying today, or applying or showing you pre-applied, because there is a lot that I want to review today. So I am going to be showing photos of stuff that's pre-applied, but everything was ultimately cut out or able to be cut out on a craft cutter. So keep that in mind. All right, so this is the 2-step glitter flake application, and I'm going to be heat applying it onto this cotton District t-shirt. All right, so if you're familiar with the District brand, they are available through Sanmar. That's one of their exclusive brands that they offer, and they have some really fun spirit wear. So if you're looking to upgrade from just a basic cotton t-shirt, District has a variety of different styles that you can utilize, and all of their fabric is really nice. So if you're first getting into apparel and you're using some t-shirts that feel a little bit rough or grainy, it's because that's the grade of the cotton. They use a really nice grade of cotton, so it feels very soft, more like a ring spun cotton. All right, so for the first application, what I'm going to do is the largest part of my design, which would be the white, since that is the outline. And this is a great way to achieve a layered glitter flake look, although it's not layered. So the first step, obviously, is we're going to apply that white down. I'm going to use my cover sheet to protect my upper heating element from potentially getting anything on it. And then my press does the rest of the work. So glitter flake applies at 302 degrees for 10 seconds. Now I am going to use the tacking method on this. I locked that down for about 5 seconds, but ultimately I only needed about 2 to 3 seconds. So I can go ahead and peel this carrier back since it's a hot peel. And that's one thing I love about hot peel products, is it speeds up that production time. All right, so it doesn't take much to get a design applied with a hot peel product, because as soon as that time is up, you just peel that carrier and then it's complete. And then of course that tacking method just speeds up that process even further. All right, so we'll let this one apply for the full application so that it's securing the adhesive for both the white and the gold that was heat applied. All right, so very simple application, but ultimately gives you a really nice finish and a premium look that is ultimately going to sell. So I could have easily done this with a matte product, but I know the glitter flake is going to allow me to get a little bit more money because it has a special effect. It really pops off the garment. And when it comes to spirit wear, glitter flake really wins when it comes to ladies apparel in that particular niche. Now let's talk a little bit about how much you could profit off of that. So I'm gonna share my screen with you as soon as I get my slideshow going here. All right, there we go. Maybe, all right, there we go. All right, so you can see the profit potential of this t-shirt. I have everything broken down here. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I got the labor and overhead costs and the material costs from our Stahls heat transfer vinyl cost calculator, which is a free download and allows you to plug in your labor, how much you want to charge for your labor, what percentage you want your overhead to be, and it calculates all of that for you based off of the product that you're using and the time that you put in to weeding, heat applying, all of that, all right? Cutting, all of your labor is included. So you can plug all of that in. It's an Excel file, and it's just a quick download right from our website. Right, I'll have Danielle actually share that and some of our other teammates. There we go. All right, so we have here the blank cost, which is $4.99. So I wanted to break each thing down for you so you could ultimately see what all goes into how much profit potential you can make, because some people skip that second line there where it has the labor and overhead, and you want to make sure you're paying yourself for the time that you spent to create this. So, all Our blank cost is listed there. The labor and overhead, again, I got from filling out a percentage. I just put in 10%. Obviously, that's going to be your preference and what you want your business percentage to be for your overhead. So keep that in mind. But then it broke down the material cost for 2 colors of glitter flake for this size design. Right, so this was roughly a 6x7 or 5x6 around there. And that's where we were able to get that material cost. Our sell price, $22. This is really on the low end because this is a really unique t-shirt because it has those varsity stripes, which increases the value in the blank. All right, and then we also added a premium glitter finish, which is really popular for spirit wear. So someone would be more willing to pay a little bit extra for that finish. So again, sell price is on the low end, but I did want to keep it in the low end just so you can kind of see where we were gauging at. And then you can see the profit potential. All right, so if you're selling multiples of these t-shirts you're getting 14 for each one, then that's a really great profit potential. So I'm going to be continuing to break down each of these things for you throughout all the applications that we're doing today that I think will ultimately give you the most profit potential if you're looking to take the designs and things that you're creating with your craft cutter and ultimately start selling them and building a business off of that. All right, so that's the idea of the profit potential you could make with a t-shirt, right? But t-shirts aren't the only thing you can sell. There are many things that you can sell because you have so much opportunity with just the craft cutter, some heat transfer vinyl or sign vinyl, and a heat press or home iron, right? Depending on which stage you're at. Now, whenever you are selling t-shirts, it's great to also have other options out there as well. So of course, hoodies are another popular item. I'm not going to show this application because I just did this one, I believe, last week. But you can see it that it's just a really premium look, and it's great to be able to add additional apparel accessories in addition to your t-shirts so that you have a way to upsell with the different options. So t-shirts are great. Hoodies are nearly just as popular as t-shirts. So being able to offer hoodies is another great item as well. In addition to hoodies, you also want to consider sweatpants and shorts and things like that. So today I want to show you how to decorate a pair of shorts. So we constantly talk about sweatpants and joggers being a big profit opportunity, but shorts are really popular as well. And these particular shorts that were sourced from Pennant Sportswear, we're actually going to heat apply with Premium Plus. This is a sweat short, all right? So it's not just a standard polyester running short or those cotton softy shorts. This is a really nice sweat short that is fleece lined, so they're really soft inside. All right, so let's go ahead and heat apply these and show you some best practices at the heat press so that you can get a really premium look on here without compromising the fabric of the garment. All right, so there is a tag in here I am going to remove just to make sure that that's not getting in the way of my pressure. But now I'm also going to insert a heat printing pillow. And I'm just going to do that by inserting it through the bottom of the leg here. And the reason I'm doing that is because the pocket seam on here is fairly thick, and I don't want that to get in the way of an even pressure. All right, especially when we're applying a really thin material such as Premium Plus High Tack. This is a material that is great for cotton poly blends, and it's about 88 microns thick. So a very, very thin material, and it feels very nice on any fabric you apply it to. Now, if you're looking to get into more athletic wear, this is another great product for that because it has a 4-way stretch as well. And it's great for poly spandex mixes and things like that. Now, I am going to decrease my pressure here because I did insert that pillow, and the thickness of the shorts that are laying right on top of this ply and is going to ultimately increase my pressure already. So I'm going to decrease by just turning my knob and loosening that up a bit. So even that is still a little too heavy. So I'm going to dial that back once more. All right, and I'm about a medium to a firm pressure, which is even a little heavy for Premium Plus because it only does require a light pressure. All right, and I don't think the bottom of this applied, so I'm going to push that back some more and lock that down once again. All right, so if you ever happen to get into a situation where maybe it was falling off the front of the ply and you didn't notice it first before you locked it down, there's really no worry with that. All you have to do is put it right back under the heat press and lock it down, and it's going to ensure that you get the right adhesion there. All right, now because these are a 100% cotton, this applied just fine, no scorching or anything like that. I do have my temperature set to 340 degrees. So keep that in mind because I'm working with a lot of different medias today. I wanted to find a happy medium because at the end, we're actually going to be applying a screen print transfer. And I just wanted to make sure I was at the right temperature for that so that you guys could get, we'll see the finished result without it failing. So this is a warm peel. So this is holding a lot of heat, especially from that pillow that was in there and the cotton just like holding on to that a lot. So I want to make sure that that cooled down just a little bit for me. And what I'm doing now is just peeling back that carrier. You can see where originally it didn't apply at the bottom. It did apply there for me by just loading that right back on there. All right, so we're able to get a really nice premium look on that with Premium Plus high tack, and it is a true matte finish and it feels buttery soft on there. So it's not anything that's like super heavy for a pair of shorts. So if you even wanted to personalize the back of these, the more areas of a garment that you print, the more profit opportunity and upselling you can do with a single blank garment. So keep that in mind. If you did want to add personalization or maybe the name of the school in the back or the sport that you may be heat pressing this for, that's a great option as well. But let's go ahead and check out the profit opportunity we have with the shorts. All right, so again, these were sourced from Pennant Sportswear, and they are a higher end short. Right, so we are working with 100% cotton. They're more of a sweatpant feel. So they're going to be a little bit higher in the blank cost region, but you can get some as cheap as $4 to $5. All right, so it just depends on what brand and style you want to go with. Then we have our labor and overhead breakdown there once more, and the material cost, the Premium Plus. Now, since we're working with such a small area and we're also cutting this ourselves, our material cost is going to be really low. All right, sell price $24, and you can see our profit potential there for $12.39. All right, so yeah, so again, really great profit opportunity there. Do see some of you guys commenting in, so I do want to visit the comments real quick in case you guys have any questions. Yes, Ken says Pennant has some really nice merch. I really agree, and they sell direct. I haven't seen, actually, when I met with them at the beginning of the year, whenever they went to the DAX Kansas City show, I met up with one of the marketing girls there, and they were telling me that they only sell direct. I was always curious if they had a vendor that resold for them, like Sanmar does or S&S Activewear. But they have really great product, and they sometimes get looked over, but they're a really great brand but they do get looked over sometimes because they're not, they're only selling direct, and they're from the Northeast. So a lot of West Coast people don't really know about them. So definitely check out their website. They have some really, really nice stuff. All right. It looks like we're getting all of your questions answered though. Patricia says, need that design, please. I am assuming that you're talking about the Panthers design, which I can send you if you want to personal message the Stahls chat, and we can get that file sent over to you. Matt asks low, medium, or high pressure. So for the glitter flake, that's a medium pressure. So that's the pressure we were using for that. For Premium Plus, it would be a low or light pressure. All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. So next we have on the list tumblers and coffee mugs. So we're talking about what items we can ultimately be able to print using a craft cutter or a heat press. In this instance, we wouldn't really need a heat press because you can actually heat print or print onto tumblers and mugs without heat. Now, I do know a lot of people like and prefer to use sublimation for this process, but sometimes there's just ceramic mugs out there that don't have the polyester coating on them, or there's plastic tumblers that won't take to sublimation. So we opt out for sign vinyl. And sign vinyl is absolutely compatible. The sign vinyl that we sell in our solid colors, matte and glossy, and then our pattern sign vinyl as well is all compatible with desktop cutters. So you can utilize sign vinyl to customize on these popular drinkware items, and also use them for add-on sales. So that is the image that I actually wanted to share with you guys. So I'm going to bring that up because I think this is honestly such a good way to pair items. One second. It's taking me a while to find it. Here we go. I have so much stuff up on my screen. You guys have to bear with me for a second. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Zoom in a little bit. All right, so this is our sign vinyl actually being paired with a blank wearable item as well. So tumblers and mugs are very, very popular. You see them everywhere. I mean, just walking through Target, they're customized with words and sayings, popular text. And even if you're in TJ Maxx or Marshalls whenever you're going through the checkout section, like they're always just on shelves all over the place. So tumblers are really, really popular. And if you go on Etsy, they're being sold upwards of $18 to $20 just with sign vinyl. And that's even without the epoxy process, which can get you even further in profit potential if you want to go down that route. But this is a great way for add-on sales if you're doing a lot of wearables and you also want to be able to offer some hard goods in addition to that. So we have patterns that can be used across several different substrates. So our patterns are available in heat transfer vinyl and sign vinyl, which is what you're actually seeing in this image here. The same pattern here that's being shown on the t-shirt as well. This was cut out in sign vinyl and this was applied to a t-shirt. So you have the option to do both if you want to, or you can just do one or the other. So wearables, we know, have a lot of profit opportunity. We saw that from looking at the profit potential breakdown from the t-shirts and the sweatshorts. But like I said, the blank items range anywhere from $5 to maybe $8 in blank drinkware if you are using a wholesaler. So in the past, I was always just finding them and sourcing them from Amazon or whatever I could find at a local convenience store. But they do have a great resource, and I'm going to look it up. It's called Save a Cup. All right, and that is a wholesaler that does tumblers and mugs wholesale so that you can get a good price at them if you are looking to decorate them and resell them. All right, so Save a Cup, that's SAVEA cup.com. All right, and that is where you can source a lot of hard good tumblers and mugs to be able to put sign vinyl on them and ultimately get a decent profit opportunity. So again, those sell roughly between $18 and $20 just with sign vinyl on them. So I want you to think also what different print methods you're using as well, because sublimation does great and so does the epoxy process as well, if that's your thing, right? So if you're crafting a lot and epoxy is in your range of things that you do, that's a great way to profit with hard goods as well. All right, so we showed the picture of that. The other thing is, and I know this kind of falls in line with t-shirts and hoodies and things, but infant apparel is extremely, extremely popular and profitable because once you get business from people maybe just in your area through word of mouth, for example, and they have children that they buy apparel from you, personalized or customized for every event, all right? So birthdays, holidays, those are really popular niche specific things that people are decorating onesies for. So being able to get involved with that is ultimately going to get you repeat customers and even more profit potential. So the item that we're going to be decorating today is from Cavio. And this is an infant t-shirt, but you can see that it has the cold shoulder cutouts, which are really, really popular. And this is why I love Cavios, because they do these really trendy things for kids apparel, which is always good to have because you want to separate yourself from the competition, people who are constantly doing onesies and baby blankets. So being able to do boutique items like this that has the cold shoulder option, they have a variety of different things here. So be sure to check them out. And in addition to personalizing children's apparel, you can also do the mommy and me tees where they have a matching t-shirt with their little one. And that's really popular, not just for photo shoots, but just to wear out. All right, so we'll go ahead and decorate this. I'm just gonna drop this on my platen and do a quick preheat and test my pressure. All right, and we're going to be doing a 3-step application, which has 2-color fashion film, all right, white and navy, and then we're gonna be doing a pattern as well. So like I said, infant apparel is really good for niches like doing holidays and events, all right? So this is a great option. This is the largest part of my design, so I'm going to heat apply this first. All right, grab my cover sheet. And what's great about fashion film is it is compatible with the tacking method, so I can just lock that down for a few seconds there and do a hot peel. Now I'm going to place in the white fashion film. And I always say it's really easy to make a pattern stand out on apparel by using a contrasting color. All right, so I chose 2 just because I wanted to go with the America theme. So this had the red and white in it. So I wanted to add the white and blue with the fashion film. Adding contrast colors just really helps make the pattern pop off of the apparel better so that it's not getting lost in the design or in the substrate. Right, and this is a really tight contour, so I'm taking my time to place this accurately. All right, so if you ever find yourself getting caught with alignment in your design, it's because heat transfer vinyl shrinks when it's under the heat for a long period of time. And that tacking method really helps. So I probably should have done the white an even shorter amount of time on there. I can go ahead and pull this carrier back so you can see. But I'm gonna put this up really, really close and show you just where I missed the line there, right? So there's a little bit of gapping. So there's a few ways that you can avoid that from happening. One of them being making sure your contour is overlapping ever so slightly, which is done in your artwork in your offset for the contour. So keep that in mind. It can be done easily in your artwork process, or you can help by utilizing the tack method. The tack method lets you apply the first layer so that the adhesive activates long enough to adhere to the fabric, but it also keeps it from shrinking. So if you only do it for 2 to 3 seconds, the less that heat transfer vinyl will shrink, so that the alignment is a lot easier. So if I would have just lifted up that press a few seconds earlier, that could have helped. All right, so looks like we have some more comments coming in. Let's visit those. So Cassandra says, still looks great. Most wouldn't even notice. Yeah, so that's the thing. Most people don't notice that as the decorator, you're always thinking, oh, I messed up there, I messed up there. So it's really hard to combat that sometimes. All right. Yeah, so Cavio is for the kids apparel. Sherry says she does the epoxy process. She loves it. I actually am in a Facebook group where people do a lot of the epoxy stuff, and it's really, really cool. Sometimes I get lost in it a little bit just in videos of people that they're doing with glitters and different ombre effects, but it is really, really fun. I do want to try it out sometime. All right, Craig asks, hi from England. Where's the best place to get designs from for the product? So I always use cadworkslive.com. And if you guys joined me on Friday, we were talking about CADWorks and how we were planning to add more templates, and we're still doing that. So that has a lot of free templates and clip art that you can utilize. So CADWorks, if you are not doing a ton of art yourself, then you can access stuff through CADWorks to make that process a lot simpler. Denise asked, she loves the America Vibe design. Is it possible to get it? Thanks. Yes, Denise, actually, it is on lovesvg.com. So it's free. I found it as a free download there, and that is another really great resource for boutique text and saying type graphics that are really easy to cut out with heat transfer vinyl. So that is, again, lovesvg.com. All right, so moving along. Next we have tote bags, duffel bags, just bags in general, backpacks, travel bags, things like that. So I'm gonna hop off of the screen here because I wanna show you an application that we did on Friday. And this is actually, it looks like a backpack, but it's also a cooler. All right, so there are a lot of different items out there that you could actually be utilizing to upsell and compete with people who are also decorating and selling bags. So these are really great profit opportunity items. So I'm going to bring up my thing here again, my screen. Okay. All right, so we have the backpack holder, and this is showing you exactly a breakdown of the profit opportunity that you can achieve with this. So we heat applied this monogram with glitter flake. All right, so that is what the J on there is representing. And that is a great breakdown of the blank cost. So this blank was actually sourced from Wholesale Boutique. All right, so they have a lot of really great items on there that go beyond just your standard canvas tote bags and polyester backpacks. So I encourage you to visit their website because they have a variety of different things that you can utilize in order to personalize for your customers and ultimately build more profit opportunity for your business. So our material cost is broken down there, just 19 cents for a little 3x3 design. And we can sell this because it's not just your standard bag that is either a backpack or a tote bag, but it's also a cooler. All right, so these are going upwards of $50, really depending on the brand, but low end $35. Either way, both are awesome price points in order to build profit opportunities. So you guys know your customers the best when it comes to selling these items. So that gives you a great idea of how much profit you can make for your particular customers. So keep that in mind, do your research. That's how I always find how much items are selling for, so we can figure out profit opportunity. So this is a really, really great option. But definitely diversify yourself when it comes to bags, because there's so many out there and a lot of people are printing them. So consider where you're sourcing them so that you can get ones that are going to build you more profit opportunity, but also set you apart from the competition. All right, so some other stuff. So Maria asked, what would you sell the child t-shirt for? So they're ranging anywhere between $14 and $16 because of the pattern that's in there and the higher end look of the garment, because it's more of a boutique style. It's more of like a retail ready type of garment. I would sell this one for $18, right? So because of the effect that's in there. Now, I also know that people in my area would be willing to pay that much for this style of garment. So it's really all about your demographic and who you're selling this to. There are some moms out there that may not want to pay that much for this particular garment. So know your customers, know your audience, and what they would buy this for. But I would go upwards of $18 to $20 for this garment. But it's going to be roughly the same breakdown as the t-shirt that I showed earlier. So that's why I didn't break down the labor and overhead and the cost, because it's going to be along the same lines of that t-shirt from earlier. But yeah, there's a variety of, or there's a lot of different price points that you could set that at. But I would say no less than 14 for the low end for this style of garment and the design that we heat applied. All right. And Deborah asked the name of the supplier again, please. It is Wholesale Boutique. Oh, it looks like we also answered that in the comments as well. All right. Hello, love the making it together. I'm a beginner and recently purchased the Fusion IQ. Can you do a video on what transfers go with what t-shirt material? So confusing. Okay, yeah, so there are a lot of different transfers and heat transfer vinyls out there. It really can get confusing. We do have a variety of different videos on YouTube to utilize for that particular question. So if you go to the Stahls TV YouTube channel, we do a breakdown and it's called What to Use When. We go through all the different heat transfers and what type of transfer is best for different substrates. When I say substrates, I mean the different materials that t-shirts are made out of, whether that be cotton poly blends, tri-blends, nylon, spandex. There's a solution for each thing. And honestly, that's the reason why there are so many different vinyls and transfers out there. So keep that in mind. We do have those resources there so that you can figure out what is going to pair best. If you don't have access also to our catalog, I would recommend requesting that we send you one out because we do a breakdown in the back of our catalog as well that gives you all the different heat transfer vinyls that we offer, and it tells you which material or substrates that they are compatible with, so you can also choose for yourself as well. All right. Okay, so it looks like we are answering all of questions there. All right, teammates are helping out. Thank you guys. All right, so next on the list, we just did Imprint, or we just did tote bags and duffel bags. Now we also have different styles of bags that are known as cosmetic bags or travel bags. And the reason I wanted to separate these from the tote bags and backpack segment or bucket is because I think that these kind of stand a different potential. These are going to be great add-ons, and this is just a little keychain pouch that you can utilize if you're going to Aldi and you need something to keep your quarters in, or if you wanted to make it for a kid to keep their earbuds in. and be able to attach it to their backpack, whichever. It's a little zip pouch and it works as a keychain as well. So this is also a wholesale boutique item, and it's great for just dropping some heat transfer vinyl on, whether it's for yourself or to sell as an add-on accessory with those bags. But there are Etsy shops out there that are just decorating accessories like this. So that's why I wanted to make them separate from the previous bucket of bags and accessories that you can heat apply. So when it comes to heat applying these things, all you really need is a heat printing pillow, right? Because that's going to absorb the obstructions and zippers and hardware that comes with the pouch that can cause uneven pressure. Those thick things are actually going to sink down into the pillow and keep the area in which we are going to decorate with our metallic heat transfer vinyl here. And now I can just drop that on, making sure I'm not too close to those zippers because I don't want those sections of the metallic to raise up too high. I'm actually going to make sure that this is hanging right. All right. So I feel like that just didn't make any sense. I was lining up the transfer with where the loop goes for the keychain so that when it hangs, it actually reads straight up. All right, so that's what I was meaning when I was saying I needed to line that up and making it hang right. All right, so I'm just setting it right on that platen. I'm going to dial back my pressure a little bit, but ultimately I want a medium to firm pressure because I want to make sure that hardware is sinking down into the pillow enough so that that area is raising up and applying that adhesive accurately. And metallic is a cold peel, and I'm just looking at this to make sure that the texture is showing throughout the metallic, because then that means it all heat applied accurately. If it didn't have that texture on every inch where this polyester is kind of poking through a little bit, then that means pieces of it didn't heat apply. But the texture is all throughout. So I'm just going to let this set on the cool surface for a little bit, and then I can peel back my carrier. All right, and we used the gold for this finish. All right, and because that is a metal zipper, we didn't damage that at all. It's not plastic, so we don't have to worry about compromising the ability for this to still be useful once you've heat applied it. So another great option, you could sell these for about $8 to $10, $6 to $7 low end, but it's another accessory that you can heat apply and potentially profit from. All right, so next on the list, so we're on number 7 now. So let's just do a quick review for those of you that were joining late. So 10 blank items that you can profit from with your craft cutter. We did t-shirts, we talked about hoodies and sweatpants, and we also heat applied some shorts. Tumblers and coffee mugs are a great option, whether you're doing sign vinyl, sublimation, or even the epoxy process. Infant apparel, beyond just onesies, the fun boutique items. Tote bags and duffel bags. Accessory bags, such as the little keychain bag that we heat applied. A couple other options for accessory bags that kind of fall into that is cosmetic bags and small travel bags as well. And now wooden decor. So another great sign vinyl option. So this is a project that we did, I think the first or second week of the Making It Together Home Edition, and we just did this with black sign vinyl. Now, wood decor is very, very popular. You walk into Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you'll see wood planks and signage all over the place, and also wood crates. And people are using these things in their homes to decorate with. Now, you can profit from this by taking the wholesale wood stuff, paint them, and either whitewash them or distress them. However you want to take it and utilize it to build more profit from, do that. That's what we did with this particular piece. This was just, this was the original color of the wood, and it was painted with just a white acrylic paint. The painting process is very essential for being able to apply sign vinyl, because wood is actually a porous substrate, which means the sign vinyl is not going to adhere to very well. So the acrylic paint that we put on here is actually filling those pores and making it a really great flat finish for the sign vinyl to adhere to. So these are other great options to sell. So don't steer away from decor items, because those are all very, very popular. And I feel like a lot of people are probably searching for those things right now. DIY, I mean, I just redid this room over the weekend because I'm getting stir crazy from being in my house. So I went and got some paint real quick and decided to paint my walls and grout the stone. So like, people are doing a lot of DIY stuff, and they're looking for decor to put in their homes. And this is really popular decor that you could be profiting from during this time by just cutting out some sign vinyl and squeegeeing it on. So it's a really quick process, and it's fun to do as well. So even if you're just bored and you want a project for yourself, you can do that. Denise says reflective would be cute on the coin purse. That is a really great idea. Cassandra says, great idea to use for scraps. We all have them. Very true. I have a ton of, that's one thing that I just wasn't prepared for when I decided I was going to start working from home, is all the scraps and the material. Like, I need good storage. I just didn't prepare myself for that at all. So I have scraps all over the place. All right. So that was number 7, wood decor. So signs, planks, wooden trays. I think I'm going to save this one for a different project to do, but I have this wood tray that I got from Hobby Lobby probably 5 years ago, and I'm like, that would be perfect to put sign vinyl on. So there's a lot of different things. Think outside of the box. It doesn't have to be signage that goes on walls. It can be a lot of different stuff as well. Okay. All right, and then some other personalized home decor that is really easy to heat apply. So pillowcases, blankets, towels. All right, so I'm actually gonna heat press a little hand towel here, but it's more decorative because they come in this little pouch that's tied with a bow, and it's really cute. So I'm just gonna add a monogram to the top one because it just sits in a shelf in my bathroom. So these are really great products to heat apply because they're just basic cotton. Now, whenever you're sourcing a towel, and this kind of goes back to the towel that we heat applied on Friday that I'm going to show you real quick. This towel is a very soft and thin type of cotton. All right, so it doesn't have a high pile to it. It's fairly thin, so I'll actually hold up the edge for you. And because it doesn't have a high pile, that's what makes it super easy to use heat transfer vinyl on. Now, if you use those really fluffy towels, the heat transfer vinyl will adhere to it. However, it's just going to sit on top of the fibers as opposed to that adhesive sinking down in and securing to that blank. So whenever you're sourcing towels that you want to heat apply, thin cotton type of fabric is going to be the best option. So I didn't have any flock here to cut. So I'm going to use metallic again because I already had one cut out in a monogram and I was short on time this morning. But flock is a really, really great heat transfer vinyl for these particular types of items. It's dimensional. It has a suede-like feel, so it's very soft on these items. So if you were just doing maybe a small portion of it with an initial or a last name or something like that, they would still be able to use it because it's very soft and it's not going to like scratch their skin or anything. Not saying that the metallic would, but it's not really going to do the job of drying anything because the water is going to just sit on this. So consider the material that you're also applying to these and what makes the most sense. All right, so I'm just going to lay this flat and personalize this small area down here so that when I fold it, it is the right side up. Another thing about flock as well is that it applies very, very nicely. It has kind of like it doesn't have too much of a tacky carrier. So even if you're putting it on a thin cotton, but the fibers still stick up a little bit, it's not going to rip those fibers out either. And neither will the metallic because the carrier is not tacky enough. All right. And honestly, flock reminds me the finish and look of it on a product. It really mimics the look of embroidery. So embroidery is honestly probably the most popular way people are personalizing towels like this, especially if you're using them in an instance to go into a home as decor and things like that. So if you're looking to mimic the look of embroidery and make the most profit potential that you can in items like this, then flock is going to be a really great product. I don't think I used enough pressure for this, and I'll show you why. See how it's like picking up where some of these fibers are sticking? So I peeled it away anyway because I just wanted to show you what it's doing with this particular fiber. You can learn from my mistake here. But what I could have done to fix that is kept the carrier on there, laid it right back on the platen, and increased the pressure so that adhesive stuck down into those grooves in the fiber. So I'm going to hold that up close so you guys can see what's happening there. All right, so yeah, learn from my mistake. Let me make the mistake and you not. All right, so that is our second section of decor. So you can do the signage with sign vinyl, but there's also decor that you can do with heat transfer vinyl. I'm going to show you what the pillow looks like so that you guys can see that as well. So I'm going to bring that up really quickly. I say really quickly, but then it takes me forever. Okay, here we go. All right, so I absolutely love this. And one of the girls that works in the trade show and merchandising department came up with this. It's so cute. It's a pattern heat transfer vinyl done in our lace. And it looks like she did kind of just a coral color in that because you can pick your own colors with our patterns. And she just did a knockout of the home script and put it on a pillow. I just love this. Yeah, so this is a really great idea. People, if you're anything like me, we are, I mean, I have throw pillows all over the house. My fiance gets super annoyed with all the throw pillows. So all the pillows that I had in our living area of the house are now in one area of the house in the den, which is actually where I film from. So I have a couch with just a ton of throw pillows on it because no one sits down here. But if you're anything like me and you buy a ton of throw pillows, or just people out there that go to Target and TJ Maxx and just buy throw pillows all the time like me, that's the great demographic, right? So get on Etsy, post them on Facebook, post them on Instagram. These are a really great item to just do e-commerce because you can position them in your house and take really great photos of them and personalize them for your friends and family as well. So that's another really great home decor item. And for those of you that buy a lot of throw pillows like me, you know they range like $24 to $30. And pillow covers are very inexpensive, and heat transfer vinyl is very inexpensive. So if you just slap some of that on there, that'll only cost you a few dollars. You get the profit potential of selling them for $24 to $30, or even more than that if you want to, because it's personalized, right? So always take the aspect of something being personalized with someone's name into consideration whenever you're doing pricing as well. All right, so that was number 8. Now we are on number 9, which is headwear, which is one of my favorites because not a lot of people know that you can actually decorate beanies, right? Because beanies are made of acrylic, right? So This acrylic beanie was sourced from Pennant Sportswear, and I love this because it has that metallic thread woven throughout to get that glitter effect in it. And we're actually going to be heat applying Twill on there. So CAD Prints Twill, this is something that you can order from us, or you can buy Twill and sublimate on it if you want. So this is something that you can do with your craft cutter, or if you don't want to produce this with your craft cutter and sublimation, you can order this from us by just uploading your artwork and selecting CAD Prints Twill. So this has a nice texture to it, right? So it looks, it's a true twill, but it looks embroidered, and that is the most common way people are decorating beanies, is by embroidery. So that is why I wanted to choose a really premium finish for this. If I was going to choose a heat transfer vinyl that I could cut out on my vinyl cutter, I would choose flock for this because it's dimensional and it mimics the look of embroidery as well. So all I have to do is drop it on my heat press and use a particular accessory known as a flexible application pad. All right, so this flexible application pad is ideal for heat sensitive items such as leather, plastic, or acrylic. Right, so because acrylic is what makes up this beanie, I want to make sure I'm using this so that it's not melting. So what I'm going to do actually is just place the particular piece that I plan on decorating here right on the edge and put my transfer down, making sure that I'm nice and flat on that platen. And now this flexible application pad is going to absorb a lot of that heat to avoid this item from melting. Now you'll notice the beanie that I have on there is a tightly woven acrylic. And that is why I chose this one for this application, because if I'm going to heat apply, I want to make sure that it's something that isn't going to disform, right? So if you have an acrylic type of beanie that is not tightly woven, it's very loose and has just kind of like an open weave to it, kind of like a sweater, then that is more likely to deform under the heat because it's being exposed to too much heat. Now, because I am using this flexible application pad, I increased my time an additional 10 seconds to what the application instruction is for my twill, right? So CAD Prints Twill applies at 25 seconds. So I applied this for 35 seconds. Now I can remove that. Oh, and there's no carrier, so I don't have to worry about moving that off. But my beanie is complete. So it's completely customized with twill, nothing melted on me. Now it does keep it from stretching in that the same way embroidery would, but it's on there nice. I don't have to worry about that popping off at all. It's good for up to 50 washes or beyond that even, if you're going to wash a beanie. Now, beanies don't experience a lot of wash cycles, so keep that in mind. Don't really have to worry at that point, but if they happen to go in the wash, you don't have to worry about that coming off. So CAD Prints Twill, a really great way to add profitability to decorating beanies. All right, so let's look at the profit opportunity if we were to sell this. All right, there we go. So my customization isn't on there, but you can still get the breakdown there. So I saw my material cost for that CAD Prints Twill. So my blank cost, $8.75, again from Pennant Sportswear. Labor and overhead, $1.13. Still want to pay myself for the amount of time I'm placing my transfer, ordering my design, etc. So don't forget about that. And then the material cost is there. So I set this at $20 for my sell price, which gave me a profit potential of $9.04. However, I could see this beanie being sold upwards of $25 to $28. So it just really depends on, you know, your demographic, what your customers are willing to pay for. You know them best. But because this has a premium full color twill finish, that right there allows me to upsell even more. And then the beanie itself is already a retail ready beanie. People would wear this blank because it has that glitter and metallic thread woven throughout. And it's just a premium beanie. This is something that I could see in a retail store being sold blank for $20. All right, so keep that in mind. Always consider your customer and who you're selling to and what they're willing to pay for. And last but not least, we have face masks. So this isn't something that we would typically have on the list, but it is something that we want to make sure we are able to source for our customers now. So this is our economy face mask that we are offering. This is also available on Sanmar wholesale. It's $15.90 for a pack of 10. All right, so that gets our cost to $159 a piece. All right, so this is just a face cover, right? So it's a single ply cotton material, right? So again, this is the economy mask that you can decorate. We do have premium masks that you can purchase that are 2-ply and they have a filter in them. They have a polyester front of the mask, and then it is a fleece line, so it's soft against the face. Now, whenever you're decorating these particular items, you want to consider, is it safe for someone to wear on their face? Fortunately, we have transfers that are CPSIA compliant. All of our heat transfer vinyls are CPSIA compliant, except for maybe one, but it will be listed there on our heat transfer vinyl. So your standards are CPSIA compliant, meaning it's safe for someone to wear on their face. Now, of course, you don't want to block them from being able to breathe through their mouth. And this is the chin part down here that curves down at the bottom. All right, so this is the area you can decorate, also on the sides as well. The transfer that we're going to be using today is Goof Proof. All right, so Goof Proof is a plastisol ink that is put onto a release paper so that you can order them and stock them and be able to heat apply with them and have a screen print finish, right? These really work well if you are decorating multiples and you're looking at quantities of 12 to 24 to 50 to 100. These are going to save you a ton of time spent in production, because if you're constantly cutting out heat transfer vinyl and having to weed all of the detail, such as what you're seeing here, then that can increase your costs when it comes to the production side. So we still want to keep our costs low. These transfers are going to help do that if you are getting into high quantity. All right, so I'm going to be decorating the chin portion of this. So I'm going to drop it down there. And this transfer says, if you can read this, you are too close. All right, so there's a ton of templates and clip art that you can utilize for these face masks in Easy View Designer, which is the designer that you can upload artwork and build artwork in order to be able to order these transfers. This is all done through transferexpress.com, so you can just visit there and get signed up if you're not signed up already. So Goof Proof applies for 10 seconds at 340 degrees. That's the application that I'm using for this demonstration. It also has a second application if you need to speed up your production. It can apply at 365 degrees for just 4 seconds. All right, and it is a hot peel, so you can just remove that whenever you're done. All right, so face masks are now a way to be able to profit with your customers, not only profit, but also be able to just help friends and family who need them to be able to go into stores now. So just keep that in mind. But again, these are the single ply ones. So they are a little bit more low end when it comes to what you can sell them for. So if you're looking to be able to have something that's more premium, has a filter built in, then we do have the premium face masks. We're considering this a face cover that could potentially even go on top of masks to be able to sell. So customize these with your logo, funny text, different things sell well depending on the demographic. But this is a great price breakdown here. The sheet of goof proof that I ordered was $250, and I was able to put 20 designs on there. So that is how we got the material cost there for that transfer. Labor and overhead, you still want to make sure you're paying yourself for the time spent to create the design and heat apply them. So make sure you're paying yourself. I'm selling this one for $12 because maybe I got ripped off, I don't know. But on Amazon, I purchased a plain black single layer material face cover or mask, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't have a filter or anything. And it was $15, okay? So keep that in mind. There are people that can, charge for that because they know that people are willing to pay for that. So again, it all comes down to really knowing your customer and how you can profit best from the demographics that you're selling to. All right, so that was the last thing on our list. To review, gonna grab my sheet here. All right, so I wanted to make sure I didn't skip over anything, so I printed out a list of everything I wanted to review. So 10 blank items you can profit from by using your craft cutter, a heat press, or a home iron. So the first one was T-shirts. Second, we had hoodies or zip-ups, sweatpants, and shorts. So we heat applied some shorts and talked about profit opportunity for that. Tumblers and coffee mugs are another great way to profit with your craft cutter. Children's apparel, whether that be onesies, T-shirts, bibs, little beanies, a lot of different accessories that you can source for them. Another great wholesale supplier would be Rabbit Skins through LAT Apparel. Sanmar resells for them as well as SNS Activewear, and then they sell direct as well. Tote bags and travel bags, so that's number 5 and 6. 7 is decor for the home, for homes, so whether that's wood signs or planks, and even the wooden trays that are really popular. Just putting sign vinyl on those is another great way to profit. And then more plush type of home decor like towels and pillows that heat transfer vinyl can be heat applied to. Headwear like caps and beanies and face masks brings us to number 10. So I want to appreciate you guys who stuck around for the full hour and 6 minutes. I definitely did not intend for this to go that long, but I appreciate those of you that stuck around. Hopefully you guys learned something new today or got a new idea out of something. As long as you got something to take away, that's a successful broadcast for me. All right, so thanks again so much for joining. I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock on the webinar. All right, so don't forget about the webinar that we're doing with impressions. And that one's going to be on making events more eventful with e-commerce. So hope to see you guys there. Have a great week, and thanks so much for joining.